All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, all at Staten Island, my home borough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video, and today marks the 30th anniversary of the release of the legendary late great rapper Tupac Shakur's legendary classic hip hop album, All Eyez on Me. The first ever double LP in hip hop history. It's a certified hip hop classic, one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. And guys, you know me, I'm not really a fan of double albums, but I listened to this one start to finish and I loved it. It was a great album. Arguably Tupac's best album, arguably. And he has a lot of, there's Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas, Me Against the World, and there's All Eyez on Me. These, well, at least the albums released in his lifetime. You know, well, we can debate that all day. First, a little backdrop. There's a picture of Tupac Shakur at the Clinton Correctional Facility in 1995. Of course, we all know Tupac went to prison for sexual assault. Signed a death row on a napkin for a three-album, $3.5 million deal, which was then made official on October 4, 1995. Pac would die 11 months after the contract was signed, but, and we're not going to talk about that right now. And Tupac had reached rock bottom. Like I said, he was in prison. I mean, granted, his album, Me Against the World, was out, but, he hit rock bottom. He was arguably the top star in hip-hop, top rap star at the time. Now he's in prison, but he had ran out of money trying to fight his case. But, he got saved, quote unquote, got rescued by Suge Knight, the head, of course, Death Row Records, one of the top rap labels in the 90s, which featured, new young hip hop superstar Snoop Dogg or Snoop Doggy Dogg, at the time, and of course, legendary hip hop producer Dr. Dre, who helped build Death Row with Suge. They got Pac out, they got Pac signed to Death Row, as we all know, and they were kind of the new, to use a sports term, super team. You had Tupac, Snoop Dogg, two of the youngest, brightest superstars in hip hop at the time, and Dr. Dre, who was kind of a vet at that time. Going to '95, Dr. Dre had been around for about 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years. He'd been around for a while. He was a veteran, and dare I say, a legend already. They were putting the West Coast on the map. So they were a quote unquote super team. You also had people like the Dog Pound, Corrupt and Dash Dillinger, Warren G, Nate Dogg. You had a lot of talented rappers signed to Death Row at the time. The first single released from Tupac's All Eyez on Me album was, of course, California Love, featuring the legendary Mr. Dr. Dre, and a classic hip-hop video, one of the greatest hip-hop videos of all time, one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time. It's a classic West Coast anthem. When you think about West Coast hip-hop, I think it was one of the first songs that come to your head. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness, Dr. Dre's opening. Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. As soon as I step in the scene, I'm hearing Hoochie screaming. Started Tupac's verse. Classic song, classic video. Here's a picture from it. It's Tupac, Dr. Dre, and there's Chris Tucker to Tupac's left, but right of the screen. Following the success of this single, they released the entire album, All Eyez on Me. Again, the first ever double LP in hip-hop history. The following singles were other classic tracks such as Two America's Most Wanted, featuring Snoop Doggy Dogg, Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party. Here's a snippet from the video, Tupac and Snoop. Here they are performing it live in L.A., months before Pac's passing. The following single was released called How Do You Want It, featuring Casey and JoJo from the legendary R&B group Jodeci. How do you want it? How does it feel? Coming up as a nigga in the cash game, living in the fast lane, for real. The song had a bit of a revival thanks to TikTok, it was known as the Tupac Challenge. The following singles released I Ain't Mad At You, classic Tupac song, classic beat produced by the legendary Dash Dillinger, or Dat Nigga Dash, as he was going by at the time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I ain't mad at you. Got nothing but love for you. Do your thing, boy. Of course, this video is also very, very infamous for multiple reasons. With other classic tracks released on this legendary album was Ambitions as a Rider, Scandalous, featuring the late great King of Hooks, Nate Dogg, Picture Me Rolling, and of course, Wonder Why They Call You Bitch, which was aimed at C. Dolores Tucker, a big critic of hip hop at that time, and All Eyez on Me, the title track. A gangster rap album, Tupac raps about his experiences of living in poverty and in luxury. Critics particularly note that Tupac widely diverges from the social and political consciousness of Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas, and Me Against the World. Yeah, Tupac was really a conscious rapper. I mean, granted, he occasionally dabbled in, kind of normal hip hop subjects such as, your money, women, partying, gold chains, whatever. But for the most part, he was a conscious rapper. Brenda's got a baby, yada yada yada. Keep your head up, dear mama, stuff like that. But this was definitely a left turn for Tupac. The album includes the Billboard Hot 100 number one singles "How Do You Want It" featuring Casey and JoJo, and "California Love" featuring Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman, and the hip hop ballad "I Am Mad at You" along with Snoop Doggy Dogg collaboration, Two of America's Most Wanted, as a promotional single. It features four singles in all, the the most of any Shakur's albums. Moreover, All Eyez on Me made history as the first ever full-length hip hop double LP released for mass consumption globally. All Eyez on Me was the second album by Tupac to chart at number one on both the Billboard 200 and the top R&B slash hip hop album charts, selling 566,000 copies in the first week. 7 months later, Tupac was murdered in a drive-by shooting. And very unfortunate. The album won 1997 Soul Train Music Award for Rap Album of the Year posthumously, and was also posthumously nominated for Best Rap Album at the 39th Annual Grammy Awards in 1997. Well, the Grammys rarely get hip hop right anyway. But 1996 was a legendary year for hip hop. I did a video on that years ago. Arguably the greatest year in hip hop history. Shakur also won the favorite rap / hip hop artist in the American Music Awards in 1987. Upon release, All Eyez on Me received instant critical acclaim, and it was praised for its innovation in the rap genre. It has since been ranked by critics as one of the greatest hip hop albums, one of the greatest albums of all time. It was certified diamond by the RIAA in 2014. Yeah, one of the few hip hop albums to go diamond. All Eyez on Me went diamond. Tupac Greatest Hits went diamond. I believe Eminem has 2 albums that went diamond. Outkast Speaker Box Love Below went diamond. I believe Nelly's first album, Country Grammar, went diamond. I believe MC Hammer has a diamond album. I think Biggie's Life After Death went diamond. And if I remember correctly, I think 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying went diamond, or that may have been false. I don't remember correctly. Brothers in the comment section, remind me. With shipments of over 5 million copies, each disc in the double album counted as a separate unit for certification. And in 2020 was ranked the 436th on Rolling Stone's updated list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Well, look, it's maybe 436 on Rolling Stone's list, but if you ask any hip hop heads, it's probably top 10, top 5, or hell, maybe the greatest hip hop album of all time. Is it, for me, no, but it's definitely on my list of greatest hip hop album ever. If I ever did another list, if I ever did another list, it'll probably be in my 11 to 20 range. And some people may disagree with that. Look, that's fine. I mean, but like I said, it's definitely the greatest double album in hip hop history. Again, I'm not really a fan of double LPs in general, but for Tupac, I listened to it, loved it, got bangers on it. Classic West Coast album, classic hip hop album, period. But brothers, let me know in the comment section. Is this your favorite Tupac album? Do you think it's the greatest hip hop album ever? If not, where's it on your list? Is it top 5, top 10? Is it in your 11 to 20 range? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for Young Brother Grow on YouTube. I'm going to see you all.